Hello and welcome to another episode of #HeyCB with me, DK. Champions Trophy is going to start. Simple. Everybody is alive and kicking and ready for it, and so am I. But before we get into Champions Trophy, let me answer a few questions as always, as you guys have asked, and I will be as honest with it. Let's get straight into the show. Okay, this question from Pavan Kumar. Hey DK, Rajat Patidar has been named RCB captain. What went into the decision to hand him the leadership role, and what are your thoughts on him as a leader? The way he led Madhya Pradesh during the domestic season was fantastic. A lot of good things players had to say about the way he led the team. So that really encouraged us. And we wanted a new leader, considering it's a fresh group of players and it's going to be a fresh cycle as well. These two things prompted us to make Rajat our captain. This question from Krishna Mishra. What do you think? How will Rohit Sharma perform in Champions Trophy 2025? I personally think with the form that he showed in that second game in Qatar, he will go well for India. And he's very crucial. Look, the tempo at which he bats actually makes it easier for a lot of the other guys to come through. So Rohit Sharma's innings, every time he walks out to bat, it's going to be really, really important for Team India. This question from Abhi7781. What are your thoughts on 5 spinners in the Indian squad and only 2 openers for the Champions Trophy? First thing, let's address the 2 openers. I believe if in case one of them gets injured, Yashasvi can always come in if there needs a replacement, or if it's just for a match, then KL Rahul can always open. It's not a problem. So that they're not going to be too worried about. Now, 5 spinners, I personally feel is a bit too much. They could have done with 4, I felt. And that's where I do think shows a little bit of, not confusion is probably a strong word, but not being very sure of what exactly to do, because they announced a squad and then they added another spinner for an opener. This question from Janish. Our pace battery seems low on power as Shami isn't firing. Rana is very raw and Arshdeep Singh lacks experience in ODIs. Wouldn't Siraj be a better option than Rana due to experience? Look, if you had to go with experience, Janish, then yes, Siraj could have been the ideal choice, but I thought Harshit bowled very well against England. What I feel is the Indian camp is very impressed with Harshit Rana. I think Harshit Rana was the debate, but I feel Team India backs him right now more than Siraj. This question from Parth Dani. Parth, I know you. I've heard a lot of questions from you. Cool. Keep it coming, Parth. That's important. Which teams are going to trouble India in the group stage? Are there any players that India need to be careful or need to have a plan against in Group A? I think in Group A, India's hardest opponent is going to be New Zealand. Yes, they're playing some very good cricket, and we also know how they have troubled us consistently in multi-nation tournaments. And I feel the key in New Zealand again will be Williamson's wicket, because always he plays well under pressure. So again, a key wicket for us will be Williamson. He is someone to watch out for. This question from Sambhav. Australia without Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Stoinis, Marsh. Is this the weakest Aussie team in a major global tournament? What are their chances? Yes, I think this is probably one of Australia's most inexperienced team for sure. And I think they're going to find it really hard in Champions Trophy. Their bowling nearly needs to stand up. I know their batting didn't go very well in Sri Lanka, but I think it's the bowling. It lacks experience. When they play in Pakistan, they'll play on slightly better pitches. The batting will still be okay, but I think the bowling will be under scrutiny because there are a lot of inexperienced players in that bowling lineup. So Australia is not going to find it this time in Champions Trophy. This question from Aaron Singh. If you could steal one shot from any cricketer in the world and make it your signature moves, what shot are you talking and why? Or rather, whose shot? I think it won't be a shot, it will be a mind, and that will be MS Dhoni's mind. How cool and calm he is under pressure and how he leads a team. That is the attribute that I would most like to have. We're back, and it is the most important segment, Hatke segment. And this time, producer director think. They actually called and said, this is going to be very simple, DK, have a look when it comes. You know what they've said? Form India's all-time best Champions Trophy 11. You know how many people have played Champions Trophy? And they think it's simple. Simply sitting there in the chair, they think it's very, very simple. But anyways, let's dive straight in and I will give you my all-time India Champions Trophy 11. Okay, here we go. My openers for sure will be my friends who opened for the first time in Champions Trophy 2013, and they have been an evergreen pair before Shikhar decided to retire. So it's going to be Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. All-time great Mr. Virat Kohli at 3. The greatest ever Sachin Tendulkar at 4. Saurav Ganguly generally opens, I understand, but here I think he'll bat at 5. MS Dhoni will be the captain and he'll be batting at 6. Ravindra Jadeja. You can't miss Ravindra Jadeja in the Champions Trophy. You have to remember he was the player of the tournament in 2013 when we won it. So Ravindra Jadeja at 7. 8 will be Harbhajan Singh. It's gone very well in Champions Trophy. 9, 10, 11 will be 3 fast bowlers. Zaheer Khan, Ashish Nehra and Venkatesh Prasad. This is my all-time India 11 in Champions Trophy so far. And with that, we come to an end of another episode of #HeyCB. But Champions Trophy is starting, and so is it going to be buzzing at Cricbuzz. Every day during Champions Trophy at 2 p.m, we will be live and definitely speaking about whatever is going to happen in the match and review it post the match. But also don't forget to keep sending your questions during Champions Trophy. I'll be back with #HeyCB as always. Take care. Bye-bye.